Right. Well, good morning, good evening, and a very good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, actually Easy Talk. And sometimes, you've got to believe in your convictions. Whether you're a man, a woman, or a plant, you've got to believe in your conviction. And my conviction is that Cannon Fodder TV is the best channel in the universe. That's my conviction.
Hey, hey,
100%.
But anyway, we've got a full house. There is a full house on this Easy Talk, the second Easy Talk in the series. You know what? Let's go to this person here. How are you, Ralph?
I'm good, guys. I'm. My location is. I'm in the belly of the beast, as it were. Yeah, we only got them down the road. I think about maybe half a mile or so down the road from where my location is. So, yeah, but you know what? Stuff them. I don't care. We got Eze, and that's it.
Indeed. That's it. Love you, choppily. John Gooner, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've had you on the channel. The best channel in the universe.
Easy now. That's all I've got to say. Easy now. Easy now, Tottenham. Easy like a Sunday morning. Ooh. Easy like a Sunday morning. Come on, you Spurs.
Oh, good. And I've got the best.
Yeah, good to be back, Alex.
Half of the H-men. Eltel, how you been keeping, fella?
Yeah, hello, everybody. I'm all the way over here in County Clare, Ireland, and I was just looking across the River Shannon, get a great view of that from where I am, and I can see the hills of Tipperary. Cue for one of you guys to sing "It's a Long Way to Tipperary."
It's a long way to go.
I know. It's a long way to Tottenham Hotspur, and easy one go.
Oh, love it. So yes, this is the Easy Talk, and do you know what? One of the topics was we were going to talk about Man United, but you know what? Stuff Man United. My memory of Man United is 1979 was the first cup I ever saw Arsenal win against the old enemy, known as the 5-minute final, and the visions of Alan Sunderland scoring a header and running away from the goal and shouting out any kind of expletives. So we're not going to talk about Man United. What we are going to talk about is this gentleman here, Mikel Arteta. Now, we've just signed, for me, a superstar in Eze. He's got all his players now. Is this the last chance Barcelona for him, Eltel? Oh, and look at that, he's gone. So we go to John. John, what do you think? He's got all the players. Havertz, Eze. He's got to
say that again about him, Alex.
He's got to win the Premier League now, hasn't he?
Realistically, yeah, he has. He's got to win something. I see today he spent €1 billion on the players, but that's neither here or there. But what's he had? Six seasons now, Alex?
This will be 6 seasons now. Yeah.
He's got to come up with some goods of some sort this season, I'm afraid. No matter how much you love Arsenal or love Arteta, realistically he's got to come up with some sort of fault, And the Premier League is the one they'll be looking at. He's already won the FA Cup, hasn't he? So we don't want that again. Well, we do, but we should be building on it. Alex, I've said the last 4 or 5 seasons that we should have done it. We had opportunities to do it. And I said, if you don't take them opportunities, that might be the only opportunities you get because teams are creeping up, are catching up with you. To me, he's got to bring that Premiership home. But whether he's going to do it or not, mate, I can't say. He has to do it though. That's it. To me, that is it. he'll never have a better chance he'll never get a better opportunity to do it than this season. We've had all the excuses, injuries, blah, 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 not a big enough squad. He's got a big enough squad. He's got good players. He should be fighting for that Premier League. And if he don't do it this season, I don't know, mate. When is he going to do it? You know, trust the process. How far to trust it?
Well, beyond 2 seasons, that's enough for me. But anyway, Ralph, is he in the last chance saloon?
I think he is. No, I don't think he is, mate. I don't think he's in the last chance saloon. I think if he didn't win a trophy this season, he'd be in trouble. But as long as he keeps the bank balance ticking over, like i.e. getting the top 4, he'll still be there. And business-wise, why would you get rid of him? Do you know what I mean? If you're a businessman and he's being successful money-wise, why would you get rid of him? Fans have got another view on it. We want trophies. Us from the old school, 80s, we want trophies. But I don't think the game's about that anymore. Honestly, I really don't. And the Spurs are finding that out themselves now. You know, it ain't all about the trophies; it's all about money. So if we can keep Arsenal in the top 4, I can't see getting rid of him, mate. Honestly. And why should they really?
Is that the collective thoughts of everybody? If he doesn't win anything, but he keeps us in the top 4.
No, I don't think it's the collective thoughts of fans. I think it's the collective thoughts of the Cronkies and the business side of it. The fans are divided. There's half that anything he does, they don't care. They go with it, and there's another half that, like me and yourselves, we demand a bit better. We want to see trophies. You know what I mean? But it's about money, isn't it? Business. You know what I mean? It's a franchise, Arsenal. If you're a successful businessman, why are you going to get rid of him? But if you're doing well at your job, Alex, why is your boss going to get rid of you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends.
Yeah. Tell your thoughts. Is he in the last chance saloon for you?
Well, I think if you look at his motivation, his best mate that he was almost like a brother with growing up there in the Basque area was Xavi Alonso, and he's done well for himself. And he won all kinds of stuff. He got with Bayer Leverkusen, and now he's gone on to bigger and better things at Real Madrid. I think Arteta measures himself to a certain extent against his old schoolmate, his old buddy, you know. And I think he's got his career plan is to win something really big with Arsenal, hopefully the Premier League and maybe the Champions League. And then I think he wants to go back to where he was a bit of a reject from the academy at Barcelona. I think he'd like to be Barcelona manager. So I think he's on a project there to do that, and I think it's obvious from the players we've bought that he sees this as a make or break season. You know, the team's been doing very well, but it's been almost to football and doing, but it just falls short. He's playing players about the when they should be in their prime. You know, he's got Perez and now he's got SA.
Right. Well, Charles, I think he's got some problems with his connection there. Ralph, I'll go to you. Let us know your thoughts. You know, is he in the last chance? But if he's not, why is he not under pressure? Because to me, when I look at Mikel Arteta, he doesn't look like somebody who's under pressure. But what are your thoughts, Ralph?
Well, just go by what John Laguna said. The fans are divided because we've had quite a few years, many years of mediocrity, and recently now we're getting that bit closer. We were just a bit off, and now for 2 seasons we've been closer. So the expectations is we got to win. We got to win something. But for me, I'm being specific. As I said to you earlier this morning, on Canfor earlier this morning, that my minimum or my expectations is to win the Premiership and Champions League. I know that the cliche term is that we don't have a divine right to win anything just because we've gotten more players and the squad may be bigger. But from a evolution point of view, there's nowhere else we can go. You know, we have to win. We have to win, and we have to win big, small, whatever kind of adjectives you want to use. But we have to win. We have to get over this hurdle. And if he doesn't feel that he's under pressure, maybe it's just the fact that he's got a cool exterior. But I'm sure that, you know, he must have some nights when the team doesn't perform or when we lose against a team that we should beat. It's got to be in his makeup that that we've got to be successful. People show that kind of pressure in different ways, but if the board is as they have always been, just get the money in, get the shirts out, stay in top four, stay in Europe, then we can't change their mindset. It's the fans. Fans pressure. It's not like it would have been. Tel would remember this, and John Laguna as well, in the 70s when the managers weren't performing. We used to be able to go to AGMs and you know, voice our opinion. You know, now it's all controlled at the top end. We don't have that control. We can vote with our feet or vote with not buying the tops or whatever, but the team still remains. So it's got to, the conclusion is that the end of the story is we have to win. And if he doesn't feel the pressure, then there's got to be another way around it. That if he's not successful, we have to look at other alternatives, i.e., another manager.
Yeah. Okay. Tel, I know you were trying to explain to us before the signal went off. Do you want to continue, Tel?
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, I was talking to, actually, I'll tell you, I'll couch it this way. My two boys were over here in Ireland briefly last week, my two sons. And the second fellow said, Dad, what you got to understand, and you and your brother might be able to agree with this, I don't know, that brothers tend to measure themselves up against each other, you know? And there's no doubt that Xavi Alonso and Arteta grew up together. They were in the same area. There's loads of pictures of them, you know, at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know. And I think Arteta is looking, I'm not even sure it's envy, but I think he's too cool for that, to have envy and stuff. But I think he just wants to go and be as successful as his old mate, you know. And his old mate is obviously doing very well. He did well with Bayer Leverkusen, won the Bundesliga, and I think he might have won the German Cup as well. And now he's at Real Madrid. And I think Arteta, even if it's not in the forefront of his mind, I think he would like to think that he could win some serious things at Arsenal and then maybe move on to Barcelona, where he did start off at the Masia, and then it all went a bit pear-shaped for him. So I think he's got all of that. And Ralph was just saying he seems like a very cool customer. I did read that during the middle of the day, during training, he goes into his room and he meditates for 45 minutes. And he's got the air of somebody who goes in and he thinks it through. And then when he's in front of the camera, he's quite cool. When you think of the pressure he's under, he's got all, as the Cockneys say, he's got all his ducks in a row. He knows what he's going to say. He's a super cool customer, which makes him a very good manager for somebody like Kroenke. You know, he's got that vibe about him that he's in control. So yeah, I don't know if have you two guys seen that as you grew up? Did you measure against each other at all?
Yeah, I mean, me being the youngest, between the both, I was very, very competitive. I always wanted to win,
Yeah.
because with the sports, playing cricket, football, tennis, pool, snooker, I was very, that orientated. I always wanted to win. I never thought about coming second or third. It was always to be first against my older brother.
I would mirror that as well. I would say that being the eldest, the expectations were, you had to be good. There's no two ways about it. There was no muddy cuddling of your feelings. You're either good or you're bad. There's no in between. You may have flashes of creativity and flair and skill, but you had to be you couldn't be, you had to be one or the other. And it actually, the amount of times we used to play Wembley on
Wembley.
the dirt pitch at Richmond Avenue, Finsbury Park, not Finsbury Park, Barnsley Park. If it wasn't Barnsley Park, it would be Hackney Marshes. If it wasn't Hackney Marshes, those who know of Islington and went to schools around Islington, it'd be Woodham Lodge. Alex would tell you that I would go and see him play football for the school, and I wouldn't say I'll coach him. I was there as support. But for me, I didn't have that. I had to work things out for myself. It was a very competitive time against your equals, and you had to prove that you're more equal or better than, and I still got that competitive edge now. I take that into work or into every field. So yeah, between Alex and I, we was very competitive. I'd say Alex had the edge because of his height, but I had the grit and the determination to forward. But that never leaves you. I don't think it should either. You pass that on to your kids, and hopefully your kids will be able to pick up those kind of nuances of how to get the job done.
Yeah. John, can I just push you on just something that I'm not sure whether you saw the interview that Tony Adams did out in Ireland, and he was asked specifically about the captaincy at Arsenal. And he said, "Look, with George Graham said, you're going to be the captain. You're my man." And he says that he can see that Martin Odegaard is a reflection of Mikel Arteta. Can you see either in this season or next season that Declan Rice might be the captain of Arsenal in the future, John?
Well, like
That's a
you,
no.
Alex.
That's a no.
Yeah, no, I can't. Like you, Alex, I tended to agree with Tony Adams, and when Tony Adams pipes up, you've got to take notice. He's the most successful Arsenal captain we've ever had. So, whatever you may think of him, you've got to listen to him, and respect what he says. He's been there and done it. But I think the captaincy has slightly changed. I think me in our days, it's all about, getting in the middle, roaring them on, that sort of thing, proving you're a leader vocally and physically, with your strength and voice, whatever. It seems the new way is, I don't know, just do it on the pitch. But personally, I prefer the old way, right? And I think, like I say, Rice, to me, seemed the ideal captain. But apparently, they had a vote on it all, and the vote is for Odegaard. And in a kind of way, you can see the players are going to vote for the captain. They're not going to outvote mate, are you? You know what I mean? Which is another point I didn't agree with. If Mikel Arteta is the manager, he picks the captain. The team don't pick the captain. That's my point of view. But apparently,
I think John, I think as well, George Graham liked his centre back as captain because they can see everything that's going on in front of them. If you're a midfield player, the ball is whizzing around, and of course, when George Graham was at Arsenal as a player, he had Frank McClintock as a centre back, who was, a captain. So I think, in some ways, I can see why managers like to sort of pick a centre back, because they're the guys who they're not like the fullbacks. They're tearing up and down the wing. They can see all that's going on. I would love Rice to be captain. He feels like a captain, but you know, I don't know.
But you know what, Tel? Someone said to me last week, but Alex, it's not even Declan Rice. Why not Gabriel Magalhães? Why not him?
Do you know what? I've often thought that, because he's the inspiration. He's fearless. I mean, he just got the number of goals he's scored that are put in his head where most lads wouldn't put their boot. You know, he's absolutely fearless. And if I were to sit around and think which player would fit the mould that George Graham liked, out of our two centre backs, I think Gabriel Magalhães. Absolutely.
Then why doesn't
you know what?
Sorry, go on, John. Sorry,
Alex. What I was going to say, what shocked me with the fans, how divided they was over that Tony Adams comment, because he got a lot of total disrespect from the fans saying, what's he got to do with him? You know, who's he? What's he fighting that for? He's one of Arsenal's main men, Mr. Arsenal. He's going to have his say. He didn't disrespect anyone. He just said it how what he felt should be. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't like disrespecting anyone. And some of the fans are so loyal to Arteta. It's like unbelievable. Whatever he says goes. They just won't question him. Do you know what I mean? But, to me, it's all about Arsenal, not Arteta. But
John,
another thing, Alex.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I think.
What was you going to say?
Do you think that's probably the problem? That if he does have a strong character leader in whether it's Gabriel or Declan Rice, these characters, they will question him. Whereas I get the impression that Martin Odegaard, he will go along with whatever Mikel Arteta is trying to communicate to him, that he needs to communicate to the players. Declan Rice and Gabriel, they will question Mikel Arteta. And you know what happened to Matteo Guendouzi? That kind of character.
Yeah.
You know, oh no, you're out the club. I can't. I'm not going to deal with those kind of strong characters who are going to question me. So I think that's another reason why
I guess the manager's always going to pick a kind of yes man, someone that is going to be his favourite. Do you know what I mean? That can convey what he wants. And Odegaard is obviously Mikel Arteta's favourite and the players' favourite, for what it seems. So they ain't gonna. Maybe when he gets injured, they put Rice as captain. But until that happens, you might as well just get behind Odegaard, because it ain't gonna change.
Right. Okay. Ralph, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say from John's observations about the fans that were in disagreement with Tony Adam and loyal to Arteta. Do you think that's mainly because if they're loyal to Arteta, those are the fans that haven't seen what it means to be a captain under Tony Adams? You know, the players under when Arteta came into the team to now when he's managing the team, we haven't won anything other than just maybe 2 FA Cups and a Charity Shield. We haven't won any major honours, as it were. So those fans that's loyal to Arteta are probably brought into the fact about what they saw on Prime Amazon when we had that little mini series about the workings of Arsenal, rather than understanding. You have to go a bit more deeper into the history of what it means to be a captain. Look at Tony Adams, look at Frank McClintock, look at Patrick Vieira. You know what I mean? Look at Thierry Henry if you want to go a bit more sooner, as it were. These are the people that exemplify what it means to be a captain, to lead. And I think your manager is only as strong as the captain as well. The captain has got to question a manager's decision on field. I remember actually towards the end of the first match against Real Madrid at home in the Champions League, you saw Rice having a go at Partey because Partey gave away a cheap free kick, but it meant that he was out in the second match. It's those kind of observations that you want from a person who can actually see the whole field, knows what inspiration they can bring to a team, has won something, you know, no matter if it's it's an Intertoto Cup or Shield or whatever it is, he's won something. So he knows it's. At the same time, if Arteta doesn't like being challenged, it means that we're going to go around this rigmarole again for seasons to come.
Yeah, yeah. You know what?
I think you're right there, Ralph. But
yeah, go on, John. Go for it.
what I was going to say, lads, maybe Arteta's being a bit cautious because he did give Auber the captaincy, didn't he, at one point? And we'll see how that went. That didn't go too well, did it? So maybe after one he thought, oh, you know, he is cautious.
Auburn kept getting stuck in traffic around Crouch End, didn't he?
Yeah.
He should leave home earlier.
Yeah, shouldn't have come by Uber.
Meanwhile,
and Arteta was a captain at the Emirates, weren't he? And does anyone really remember that with great affection? Do you know what I mean? Seriously.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Meanwhile,
Arsenal
I don't think we've had a great
in Rebicia Eze, £6 million deal with add-ons takes it to £67.5 million, and we've snatched it under the noses of the Spuds just down the road. I am very excited that we've got this player. I'm not sure why, because I'm thinking we bought Declan Rice for over 100 million, all those other players, but this player for me, I will tell, I feel like energized. We've got this guy. Your thoughts, Tel?
Yeah, I'll tell you what kind of makes him. There have been interviews, you can find them online from a few years ago, where you can see he loved Arsenal. Even when Arsenal said you aren't good enough, he really loved Arsenal, and he broke his heart. He cried for a week, day and night. And when there was a question mark about was he going to Spurs or Arsenal, as soon as Arsenal made it obvious they were after him, he apparently said to his agent, "Don't take any more phone calls from Spurs. I'm going to the Arsenal." So, and you know what? I've always thought if I were a league manager and I had two players I was thinking of buying, and one of them was a massive Arsenal fan, I would always buy the Arsenal fan, because you're going to get 20% more out of that guy. He's going to walk through brick walls. His heart is going to be a big beating heart inside that red and white top, and that's worth a lot. You know, never mind the fact that he's a cracking player and he fills a gap that we badly needed filling. But he's an Arsenal born and bred, massive fan. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be one of the best signings ever for Arsenal.
Oh, does he start tomorrow?
Well, the question was, did they get the medical done before noon? And the last I heard was they weren't trying to sort of race the medical through in case they sort of missed something, you know. So I suspect he's not starting tomorrow, and unfortunately, he's going to start against Liverpool, which is probably not the ideal club to be playing against.
Yeah, Ralph, easy on a Sunday morning.
Easy.
Your thoughts.
Is that me?
Well,
sorry,
either you or John.
I'll let John, because I mentioned it earlier this morning, so I'll let John go.
Go on, John.
Well, just what Terry said, isn't it? The guy's a gooner anyway, you know what I mean? I think he's from Woolwich, isn't he? So you can't get any more Arsenal coming from Woolwich, can you? But just on the human side of things, you know what I mean? He got let go at Arsenal at 13. I think he went to QPR, a couple of other clubs, got let go. He's ended up at Palace. He's got something about him, hasn't he? He's never give up, do you know what I mean? He's had a lot of knockbacks, and he could have just sat back, gave up. You know what I mean? But he hasn't. He's just really believed in himself, and you know, I think to me this is what football's all about. The local lads playing for the local team. That's what I like, Alex. I think there's at the moment. I think we've got a good 7 or 8 young English guys in there, and you know, no offence to any of the other guys. To me, they're locals. I like all that, Alex. You know, they come from the streets. You might have bumped into one of them. You know, when you was a kid, been at school, whatever. It inspires other local kids to get into it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's a win-win-win. And Percy, I don't think he was ever going to Spurs. I think that was just all in the media, this, that, and the other. I think his agent, they just feed the social media what they want to feed them. Do you know what I mean? And maybe Kai Havertz getting injured did speed things up. Maybe if he didn't get injured, he weren't going to come. But best thing is, he is coming now, and I think he's going to be a really exciting player. And I know Terry said he might have to play against Liverpool, but they just played Liverpool and beat them, didn't they? And he scored a penalty. So I don't think it's going to be that bothered.
That's a good point.
I don't think it's going to be too worried. You know what I mean? But he's going to be the most popular player in that stadium. He is. He really will be. He might even be more popular in it. Do you know what I mean? But good luck to him. Good luck to him and his family. I mean, a big deal to his local community. Do you know what I mean? Where he's come from. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the guy doing really well. I just hope there ain't too much pressure on him. Do you know what I mean? Because let's not forget he's been playing with the Palace. He has looked a great player. And he has played in the FA Cup and that, so he's getting experience. But he's still got to find his feet at the Arsenal. It's a bit different there than it is Crystal Palace, you know what I mean? I wouldn't compare him with Ian Wright yet. Ian Wright was a different type of player. But I think he's settling lovely, and we've got a great player on our hands there.
John,
tell you what, lads.
Oh, go on, Joe.
I was going to say, Ian Wright joined us when he was 27 from Crystal Palace. So this guy is just the right age. Just the right age.
Yeah.
Well, they both kind of missed the boat at an early age, so they appreciate what they've got. Do you know what I mean? They appreciate a bit more than some of these blokes that have not had it handy to them, but they've come through the ranks and whatnot. But they'll be a bit more hungry and a bit more grateful.
Yeah. All right, those of you watching now, you're watching Canon 40 TV, the Easy Talk, the second episode in the series. Yeah, Canon 40 TV, the best platform in the world, the universe. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back just after this short video. Have a look at this. Morning, good evening, good afternoon. We have the H-men are back in the house. What is the R-man? The R-man? Yes. Doesn't have the same kind of sound to it. The R-man? Raz. We've got Raz. But we've got the H-men back in the house. With Tim and Terry. Fellas, how have you been? The H-men.
Well, our local team has got through to the semi-final. So it's a good while since Arsenal got through to the semi-final. So, sorry about that, lads. So, we're all excited. You know, doesn't take a lot to get us excited.
Good evening, California fans. Yes, do not adjust your set. I am hosting the Easy Talk this evening, and this evening. No doubt we did allude to it in a couple of videos during the week that this is going to be a rather special edition. It's an Easy Talk special edition.
Do you know, I had a bit of a nightmare there that somebody was introducing the Easy Talk with my brother.
We're not competitive at all, are we?
Sorry about that, Ralph. Anyway, something else that's been in major news during the transfer window. I think there's like 1 week and a few days to go. Oh my goodness, LTL with Alexander Isak. Now, in the WhatsApp group as well as on my socials, people have been saying, but there's no such thing as a gentleman's agreement. You said this, I said that. No, you said no. What's going on with Alexander Isak? Tell.
Well, it looks like it's easy to make the case that he definitely wants out, and he doesn't care who he upsets up in Newcastle. And of course, they are a fervently supported club. So I wouldn't be walking around the streets of Newcastle having said what he said. And he obviously wants to go to Liverpool by the looks of it. I would have loved him at Arsenal. Absolutely loved it, you know. But he'll be unbelievably expensive. I do worry if Liverpool get him, they're going to be a real threat. I mean, they are going to be a threat this season anyway. But if they have Isak there, we could be in trouble. It's the only fly in the ointment that I really hope he stays up at Newcastle and takes points off Liverpool and Man United and all the other clubs, Chelsea. I don't want to see him play at Liverpool at all. What at all?
Ralph, is there such a thing? I know we spoke on the morning show about a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. Again, just going over this, I don't think there should be a gentleman's agreement at this level of sports. Where you got prime sports persons, and you've got agents, super agents, you've got managers, you've got owners, billionaire owners. A gentleman's agreement, as I said earlier this morning, is only as honourable as the gentlemen that enter it, and you don't know. Things could turn like they did with Gyökeres. The player down tools, and it leaves everything very sour. And if by some strange miracle that he does stay in Newcastle, the transfer window is gone, and there's no way for him to push this move forward to join Liverpool. He's going to be in a world of hurt, I'm afraid, if he stays in Newcastle, because the fans will be very unforgiving. They're very loyal fans in Newcastle. They can go through a lot. But they don't forget, all fans, we don't forget those who hurt us, you know what I mean? Or even if there's a kind of like calming time, things will get pushed under the carpet for a moment, and forgotten. If he scores a winner against Liverpool, for example, or Man City, or anyone else, that will get forgotten about. But it still be brimming under the surface, because then you still got another season, and then maybe he might push for another contract somewhere else. I think that it's a very dodgy ground if he stays where he is, and it's very dodgy ground if he leaves. So it's a no-win situation.
You spoke about Gyökeres as well, Ralph, this morning, that actually he forced to move away from Sporting Lisbon as well, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm led to believe that it's a different situation. He said that he will stay one season, coming up to the end of his contract. I believe that he said he will stay and he'll help them win their championship, and which they did. But again, you got to have it in black and white. You got to have that contract that says they said this, I agreed to that. Now they've gone beyond that. Here's the proof. Then there's no argument. There's no argument. But we know it's not gonna go that kind of way. So it's all he said and she said kind of scenario, and it just makes things messy. And to down to when you need to be ready and primed for when you do make your appearance at your new club, could be detrimental as well, not just physically but mentally as well. And how are you introduced to your fellow teammates? There may be one or two that may think this guy is not professional the way that he left that club. What happens if he does it to us? I think that's always going to be a conversation that not many people would want to share.
Yeah. John, for you, the Isak situation, gentlemen's agreements, do they exist? John? John, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear us. So what I'm going to do, let me go into the live chat for the first time on this Easy Talk. And we've got Colin. Colin Youngsters, hit that like button, slackers. Good to see you back, Colin. Tony Adams says, I say he is correct. Just as simple as that. What else do we have? Drop the knowledge on them. They'll tell. He says that he's missed you, Tell.
Lovely. Well, you know, I was going to suggest a little story from a long way back. You know, we were talking about what kind of captain you want, you know. And when I think back to when we had a few of the Scots lads playing for us, I remember the final against Leeds, the League Cup final, and I went to that. It broke my heart. I was only a young lad, and there was a massive fight. You could get pictures of it online, and it was all the Scottish lads. It was George Graham, Ian Ewer, Billy Bremner, and they were all at it, you know, punching, kicking. It was, you know, the Scots lads had great bite and grit and determination. And I like that in a team. I want 2 or 3 players who, I'm not saying they go around fouling or punching or kicking, but I want to see fire in these guys' bellies. And I want to see, because you could get another 15 or 20% out of a team if you can fire them up, you know. So, yeah, it's not just about being pretty and playing the right through balls and that. It's one of the great things about soccer is it's also about your passion for the team and how much you can really put it out there and fearlessly play for your team. So I think that's part of what I'd like to see in an Arsenal captain. And the one, as Alex said, funny enough, the one who exhibits that more than anybody else is Gabriel Magalhaes. I mean, the guy, there was one match he played last season, and whatever way he put his head up to score a goal or whatever, he got a bang in the mouth and his tooth fell out. And he was seen on camera after the match. He came out of the dressing room and he went into the penalty area and he found the tooth and he brought it back so he could get it fixed back in. I mean, that's beyond the Call of Duty. The guy's so tough. Can you imagine playing against a guy like that? You know.
John, can you hear us?
I can, mate. Yeah.
Brilliant. We're just talking about Alexander Isak. Your thoughts on the situation over there and up north, the northeast.
Funny old situation, mate. Innit? Contracts don't seem to mean much now. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to feel sorry for the Newcastle fans, but I don't, mate. That's just how it is now in football. You know what I mean? He don't want to play for him no more. He's thrown his dummy out the pram. So I don't know what's going to happen. They'll look into it legally, I suppose, because you know, if he don't want to play for him no more, and he's legally banned, contracted to them. That's a funny old situation. What's he on? $350 a week, $400 a week, you know?
Yeah,
it's crazy, you know? It's crazy. It's all been handled really badly, if you ask me. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but to me, these contracts mean nothing, Alex. They really mean nothing. Gentleman's agreement. It's all a load of baloney, mate. You know what I mean? You know, and fans have got to accept this is the way it is. You know, one of our players may go, and we ain't going to be happy about it. You know what I mean? There's no real loyalty in football no more. You know, there's no loyalty. So.
But you know, John, we had that with Van Persie, didn't we? He was injured season after season, and we kind of stuck by him. And when he finally got himself fit, he pushed for a transfer. You know, so I don't think we've got any happy memories of him after all those years that we supported him and got him fit. You know.
What about the other end when the club no longer wants the player, and the player wants to stay at the club, and the club will say, no, actually, you know what, we want to sell you, whether for a profit or we just need to move you on. So there's also that element as well, isn't there? The player wants to stay, but then the club wants to sell the player. But what do I know?
Yeah.
What do I know?
Yeah.
There's
It
another
works
message
both
here.
ways, doesn't it, Alex?
It does. It
It
does.
works both ways, but it's not good for the fans. And if a player don't want to play for the club, that's a terrible situation, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's really bad for the fans,
But wouldn't you
especially the
rather
ones
sell,
that are season ticket holders
but wouldn't you
paying.
rather sell
You
the
know?
player, John? Sell the player. If
Huh?
he doesn't want to play for the club, just sell him. Because you don't want to have
I
a player
totally
around.
agree. Yeah, I agree with that, Alex. But you know how it is. They might be happy just to leave him there rotting. You know, I don't know what's going on. It's not good for football. You know, it's terrible behaviour. Whoever's sorting all that out, it's really bad. You know, I don't agree with it at all. I've seen it where players just when the Amazon Prime program first came on, it shocked me because that Man City player that went to Sunderland, he just sat on the bench, refused to play for them. You know what I mean? They couldn't sell him. He just and they didn't want to sell him. He didn't want to be sold because he wanted his money. You know what I mean? He wanted what he was getting each week off of them. He knew
And
once
John,
he sold,
didn't the same thing happen with our own Alex Song? Do you remember when Alex Song started playing for us and he was looking like a good player?
Yeah.
He got tapped up by Real Madrid, and I read a quote by him a week ago where he said, "I had no interest in playing for them. I was told I was going to be a millionaire, so I didn't mind sitting on the bench."
On the
So
bench.
some players are not thinking about football; they're just thinking about money.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's a good
ridiculous.
point,
I don't think that. Ozil and Alba did the same when they got their big contracts, didn't they? You know what I mean? They lost interest. There's too much money in the game. I can't feel sorry for these players. You know, it's
John,
crazy.
it was the same with Adebayor. Do you remember Adebayor? As soon as he got a big contract, his form went completely.
Yeah,
You know?
he had the same. Each team he went to, every contract he'd gone. Once he got the money, that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true. But bringing it back to Eze, the point about Eze is he's coming to Arsenal because he's passionate.
Yeah, he wants to play. That's
Put
what
that
you like
red
to
and
see.
white on and get out there. Can you imagine the crowd are going to go nuts when they see him? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's the other end of the spectrum, isn't it? He's come from nothing. He was more or less shown the door, you know what I mean? But he's turned it around and he appreciates what he's got. People like Isaac, they've got more money than sense, mate. I don't feel they're people like him are ruining the game. I don't know the ins and outs, but I think that's wrong, whatever team, you know. I think that's just bad news for the game.
Yeah. Let me go back into the live chat. Just a couple more comments before we go into the last segment. Colin says, wreck it, Ralph. Yeah, he's here. Love that guy. He loves you, Ralph. Colin loves you.
I love you.
Yeah, he loves Tel as well. He doesn't love me.
It's a loving. It's a loving.
It's a bromance. That's what it is.
It's a
Bromance.
Yeah. John, it sounds like you're not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore. Nice to see you, Sir John.
Dr. Pepper tonight. But Alex, I'm just testing this thing out. Can you see that new screen I've got on the background? Has it come up?
Yeah, I thought it was the Cray twins you've got at the back there.
It does look like them, doesn't it? No, what it is, it's all the angry Spurs fans. You know when Omri ran the length of the pitch and kneeled in front of him after scoring that goal?
Right, okay.
That's what that is. And if you have a look, they're all sticking two fingers up at you. I thought that was act. I just tried that out. So that's a good little device on these phones now.
Yeah.
Or your StreamYard.
One more comment. Colin says, on a good note, I believe Eze is going to be great for our locker room. He is a class act and gooner through and through. Last topic we want to talk about actually is the game. There is a game tomorrow. Is there a game tomorrow? Yes, there is. It is Arsenal against Leeds United. Leeds United, Ralph's second favourite club. Now, Ralph, I know you've already given your thoughts on the morning show. Tel, Memories of going to see Arsenal play Leeds.
Oh, many times, many
Yeah.
times. And they were our bogey team when I first started supporting Arsenal. We could not beat Leeds, and it was one hassle. I remember going to Leeds when we won the league in '71. About 4 matches before the end of the season, we played Leeds. And the whole of my estate, Hybrid Quadrant estate, seemed to go on the train from King's Cross. And we all ended up, and it was an awful draw until the last 3 minutes. And Jackie Charlton fouled our goalkeeper, and they scored a dubious goal. But 3 or 4 matches later, I was at Tottenham to see Arsenal beat them and clinch the league. But certainly, in fact, my daughter was at Leeds, was at uni up in Leeds, and unfortunately, it was right in the middle of COVID because I was dying to get up there and see a few games, you know. So yeah, Leeds are tricky, you know. They're a bit of a yo-yo club currently. They go down and go up, you know. But they've got a good, tenacious midfield there. They've got 2 lively wingers. They've got 1 or 2 decent centre backs there. So they aren't going to be no pushovers. So even though, you know, we've had all the sort of noise about all the players we're buying, you've got to concentrate tomorrow now. From now on, put all that out of your head and work out a way of beating them, because they are going to have done their homework. They're going to know that we're a little bit weak. If Eze doesn't play, which I doubt if he will, because he won't have been signed in time, then we are definitely weak down our left-hand side. Martinelli, I don't know. I like Martinelli, but I see him more as a striker rather than a winger. And then I think I love Lewis Skelly, but people forget that he came all the way through from the U team as a left-sided midfield player, and he's a bit susceptible on in terms of his defensive skills, you know. And I do worry. In fact, I hope I'm wrong, but I suspect tomorrow Leeds are going to attack our right-hand side, because we've got 2 slightly weaker players there. And in terms of defending, of course, was it Tony Adams or somebody said, or George Graham, that being a defender, you only really mature in your middle 20s, because it's all about positioning, where to play, when to drop off, when to get tight. And I love Lewis Skelly. I think he's a cracking player and a lovely guy, and he loves Arsenal, and I love his attitude. But I do worry that he's still not quite up to speed as a fullback. Now, having said that, we've let Tierney go, and it looks like Zinchenko's going. So Arteta might be seeing something in training that sort of I don't see. I think he's going to be our left back for the next 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years. But I think his better years are going to come in subsequent seasons.
Right. Okay. And for you, John Geezer, how do you see the game going against Leeds? A win for the Arsenal, John.
Well, I think we're going to beat him about 3 or 4 nil, to be honest with you. Terry seems like he should give the Leeds manager the plans for the game, innit? The tactics. If the Leeds manager's watching this, he might be on to something. But now I think there's going to be a good vibe at Emirates. There'll be a real good vibe, especially that Easy won't be playing. But he may be at the ground. And I can see young Victor getting a couple of goals tomorrow. Yeah, you can't take these championship sides for granted coming up, but they're a championship side. They ain't really improved a lot since last season. And I think we'll deal with them comfortably. For 3-0, I reckon, Alex, easily, mate. I've no qualms about that, but let's see.
Right. Okay, cool. Ralph, remind everyone your prediction for the game tomorrow.
I said the same thing. I said 3-0. I said 3-0.
Yeah, I said 1-1.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think that'd be anything.
I said 3-0. I said how. If I didn't know that Izzy may not have been able to play, I'll have him on the bench, And if for some reason that Leeds are very resistant, and it's 0-0 at half time, then I'll put Eze on to start, rampaging as he does. But for me, the first half, keep the team that play against Man United the same, but start fast, start dictating, and then come second half, if we're 2 or 3 goals up to the good, then you can start playing around with adding some more of the subs on to keep the pressure up. If not, if it's going to be very hard and dogged as Leeds can be, then you need to have that extra spice, and it would have been Eze, but it may have to be somebody else now.
Yeah. Okay, let me go into live chat just for the last time. So Colin says, bromance, I'll take it. There's a bromance brewing. I've got my headline moderator back in the live chat. Monty, good to see you back, brother. Thank you for that. Well, go on, Alex, and the Cannon 4 TV family. Please leave a like and subscribe if you are new here. Such niceties in the live chat. Monty, love that guy too. How are you, my friend? Just some responding back to and forth between themselves, and a couple of them familiar names. There's the enforcer, looking like the enforcer.
Hey!
Hey!
Hi, Des.
He says, hi, brothers and sister. I'm not sure. Who's the sister? I'm not sure.
I think he's taking that romance a bit too far.
And he says, hey, Alex, Ralph, Godfather, and Geezer. And another familiar, Emerson. Good to see you back, Emerson. He's saying 3-2 to the Arsenal and pressure cooker match to watch. Wow. And one more prediction we have. We've got a few more, actually.
Easy, though.
This is 3-0 to the Arsenal. And Colin says 7-0 with Gok 14, a hat-trick. Oh, a hat-trick. Wow. Oh, my days. Do you know what? We have come to an end on this second Easy Talk in the series. LTEL, one half of the H-Men.
Yeah, and it's lovely that I can talk to you all the way here from County Clare, overlooking the River Shannon and the hills of Tipperary. There you go.
Lovely jubbly. And John Geezer. Looks like he's falling half asleep there. Geezer.
It's got fans after him. That's what it is.
He's gone to sleep. All right. Last but not least, Ralph, thank you for a double header, actually. Morning show, evening show, Easy Talk, and actually yesterday as well. So I do really appreciate that. We're possibly going to do an instant post-game reaction tomorrow for the Leeds game. But who knows? Actually, one thing I do know for sure is that this is the greatest podcast in the universe. Don't tell me.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks very much. Say hello to your family from everyone on Cannon 4 TV, please. And of course, Tim as well.
Will do, mate. Will do.
Are you seeing Tim today?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I might be seeing him tomorrow. In fact, I bumped into his wife in town and we were laughing and joking about different things. So, yeah, Tim's only about a 5-minute drive from me. So I go around there a lot, or he comes up to me. Yeah.
Right. Okay, brilliant. And just one correction, Des meant sisters. Yeah, but who are the sisters? Who are the sisters? Say again, Ralph?
I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah. Ralph, thanks a lot. Anyway, guys, that's it. We've come to an end. And just remember, it's easy on a Sunday morning. This, my friends, has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Bye.